third grade. You are problem solvers, and problem solvers are going to have a little review today. Our learning targets involve solve two-step word problems, using rounding to check for answers, reasonable answers, and looking for patterns on the multiplication table. So you are going to need some scratch paper and a pencil, and you're going to do some problems with me even though you do not have the pages in the workbook. And then when you're finished with me, you'll complete some questions very similar to the ones that we're going over on your Think Central assignment. So here we go. So first of all, our learning target was to solve some two-step word problems. So we're going to do some two-step word problems together. It starts out that the directions here say you're going to think about the first step question and then answer. We're not going to worry so much about that part. All right, so it says the tour boats at the Laguna can carry 8 passengers. Jacob watched 6 boats float by. One of the boats had 2 empty seats. The others were full. How many passengers were on the 6 boats? So the first thing I need to do is figure out how many full boats there were. But I'm going to draw myself a picture first. I'm going to draw 6 boats, but I'm not really drawing boats because that would take too long. So I'm drawing some circles. There's my 6 boats. And then I know that one of the boats had 2 empty seats. So if there's 8 passengers normally, this is going to be 8 minus 2, right? That's one boat. And the rest were full. So 8, 8, 8, 8, and 8. Always draw yourself a picture if you can, my friends. All right. So then I'm going to think about what is my equation. Well, first what I'm going to find is I'm going to find the 5 boats that had the full amount. Put the parentheses around there. And then I'm going to add that last boat, which is 8 minus 2. It's missing 2 people. And then I'm going to come up with my answer. And so it says passengers, so I'm going to have P. So 5 times 8. So I'm going to count 8 times on 8 fingers by 5s. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. All right, and then I'm going to add that to 8 minus 2. 8 minus 2 is 6. I'm going to have a total of P equals 46 passengers. Okay, now I'm going to make sure that makes sense. Okay, so if there were 8 boats and they were all full, 8 passengers and 6 boats, and they were all full, that'd be 48, 48, and then 2 empty seats. 48 minus 2 is 46. That makes sense. All right, next one. Zoe cut a pan of brownies into 4 rows and 6 columns. She divided them evenly among 8 people at her scout meeting. How many brownies did each person at her scout meeting get? Well, first we need to know how many brownies there are total. So I'm going to draw my array here. So it said 4 rows. So there's my 4 rows. Great if they were even. And then it said 6 columns. So 6 is divided by 2. So I'm going to first divide it into 2. And then 3 over here. 2 lines to make 3 over there. So I'm going to double check. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 on the side. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the first thing I need to do is find out how many brownies there are total, right? So 6 times 4. And then it said she divided those amongst the 8 people at her scout meeting. All right, so, and that's going to equal how many brownies each person got. So I'm going to go with B, and B equals. All right, so 6 times 4, I'm going to figure that out. Or 4 times 6, 6 groups of 4, 4 groups of 6. So I'm going to think about that, and I'm going to make it 24. Divided by then 8, and 24 divided by 8 is 3. So now I'm going to look back and see if that really makes sense. 3 brownies. And I'm going to go back and look at my picture and see if that's reasonable. All right, so one person has these 3, one person has these 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, 8 groups of 3. Nice job. All right, so if you need to catch up, you want to write this down, you need to pause me, please do. Grace made 6 bouquets for her bridesmaids in the wedding. She put 3 roses, 4 tulips, and 2 lilies on each bouquet. How many flowers did she use in all? So again, draw ourselves a picture to make sure we make sense of the problem. So I'm going to draw my 7 bouquets, and then it said that I had to put 3 roses, 4 tulips, and 2 lilies in each bouquet. So I could write 3 plus 3 and then 4 plus 4 and 2 plus, but I'm thinking I'm going to head that to begin with. So 3 plus 4 plus 2. And I'm going to find out that that is 7, 1, 2, 9. So I'm going to write 9 at each of these. Works great. So times 7 bouquets, 9 times 7, then is going to give me, so I'm going to use my 9s trick. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Put the 7th one down. Count all the things from the down finger over. That's 60. And then the 3 that are over there, 63. 63 flowers. That's what I need. And then I'm going to make sense of the problem. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 times 10 was 70. And then but that's 7 less because those aren't 10s. So 70 minus 7 is 63. Makes sense. Awesome. All right, my next learning target has to do with being able to use the idea if something is reasonable or not. And today you're going to be doing that. So Chelsea's class collected cans of food for their local food pantry. They collected 27 cans on Monday, 78 cans on Tuesday, and then on Wednesday they collected 53 cans. How many cans did the class collect on all 3 days, or those 3 days? So 27, I'm going to look there, round 7 is above 5, 5 and above, give it a shove, 30. And then I'm going to do the same thing for the 78, 7 tens, 8 ones, 8 above 5, round it up to 80. I'm going to add those two together first, get 110, and then I'm going to look at that last number, 53. 53 is the 3, lay it low, so I'm going to stick with the 50. That gives me 160. Is the answer 158 cans close to 160? It is, yes. But now I'm going to find out if it's absolutely correct. So I'm going to write my 27 plus my 78. 7 plus 8 is 15. Regroup the 1. 1 plus 2 is 3. 3 plus 7 is 10. Learn 5, but I'm not done yet because I need to add that 53. 5 plus 3 is 8. 0 plus 5. I didn't line those up very well. So you guys don't follow my bad habit there. 0 plus 5 equals 5. 100 plus none is 100. And there is our correct answer, 158. And then, so I need to write an equation. You are going to need to be able to do that today. So 27 plus 78 plus 53 equals 158. But if you also wanted to write the real equation, that's the real equation, but you could write 30 plus 80 plus 50 equals 160. All right, so you're going to have some similar problems to that. Last section for our learning targets today is to look for patterns on a multiplication table. So I know these are really super small, but what happened is when I messed with it, it didn't work out so well, so I'll bring it a little closer, but it doesn't help a whole lot. All right, so it's asking what the pattern for anything times 10, the 10 count bys. So if we look at all of them, we see what they have in common. We'll notice that there is a 0 in the ones place. Yep, and then this is what patterns you see in the 5s. I'm going to look at the 5s there. Okay, and so I noticed that 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. Oh, interesting. So every time, so I have it rotates between ending in 5 and ending in 0, ending in 5 and ending in 0, ending in 5, ending in 0. But when I look at what that's in common there, 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9 are all in 5s. Those are odd numbers. So odd numbers times 5 equal something with a 5 in the ones place. And even numbers times 5 equal something with a 0 in the end. Oops, sorry, 0 in the ones place. Interesting. Now I look at the 9s, and I look at the count bys for the 9s, and I notice that if I look next to the 10s, 9, 10, 18, 20, 27, 30, 36, 40, each time it's 1 difference, 2 difference, 3 difference, 4 difference, 5 difference, 6 difference, 7 difference, 8 difference, 9 difference, 10, between 90 and 110 difference. So I notice that if I subtract, so if I look at 5 times 10 is 50, and if I subtract 5, because 9 is 1 less than 10, I'll get 45. Let's do another one. So let's start with an easy one. 2 times 10 is 20 minus 2, 18. when you want to look at your 9s, all you have to do is look at your 10s and subtract that same amount of numbers. So 10 times 9 times 10 is 100, but 10 times 9 is 10 less than that, which is 90. So you can also look at your 2s. If you're looking at your products, if you see that the double, so if you look at 2, you'll notice that 4s double the 2s. 8 is double 4, 12 is double 6, 16 is double 8, and so on. When you double them, you get your 4s. And when the 6s are doubles of 3s, 6, 12, 9, 18, 12, 24. And then 8s, what are 8s double of? 8s a double of 4s, 8, 16, 12, 24, and 10s. Here you go. What is 10s the double of? The doubles of the 5s, right? 10, 20, 15, 30, 20, 40. So keep in mind that on that, there's all kinds of patterns on that multiplication chart and table. You're going to be looking for those today in your assignment. So you're going to go to Think Central. You're going to look up today's assignment. It doesn't look exact. It's not 4 or something like it was before. It's a review assignment. And so find that and do those problems so I can get a score for your grade today. Bye-bye.